skies. Search but you stay lost. We are rich.
Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. This time we're talking about this beautiful VOGE 500 AC. I really like this name, especially given that we're just in the middle of the summer. It's getting really hot. Hope this bike would make it a little bit cooler. So yeah guys, before we start riding this bike, I would like to talk about some specifications. And the first thing I need to mention, guys, is that we have 471cc parallel twin engine, which produces 48.9 horsepower and 45 newton meters of torque, as far as I recall. This engine is pretty decent. It's pretty torquey for the displacement. I would say that this is exactly this amount of power that I need for a city, actually. So in a city, it feels very good. Other than that, guys, we have an upside down front fork. So the suspension is not adjustable. It's pretty soft, so every single time I run over a bump, I feel very good. The rear shock is not adjustable as well, to my knowledge. Over here, from the front, we have dual-sided 300 millimeter disc. We have Nissan 2-piston caliper, and this bike in particular, guys, doesn't have ABS. However, if you are looking for this bike, let's say in the second-hand market, it would have ABS. Just this one in particular doesn't. From behind we have 240 millimeter single disc, and this is 1 or 2 piston caliper. The carb weight of this machine is 188 kilograms, which is pretty good. The tank capacity is 19 liters. Actually, guys, when I look at this bike, I would tell you that it looks very good, and I really like this classic style. Obviously, the paint of the bike is not for everybody, but this is a standard option. So you could get this bike looking like this straight from the factory. Technology-wise, we don't have much. We have TFT dash, we have 2 power modes. However, those power modes, they feel pretty much the same. The only difference is that the dash starts looking a little bit different. And yeah, this is a pretty simple bike, no ride-by-wire. In 2021, the price of this bike was 34,000 RMB, and by now, by today's standards, this bike is way too expensive, and I would say that right now nobody would buy this bike for 34,000. However, on the second-hand market today in China, the price of this bike is ranged from 10 to, let's say, 15,000 RMB. So this bike is pretty approachable. All right, guys, I was talking about this bike for some time. I guess it is time for us to hop on the bike. Oh, by the way, the seat height is 790 millimeters. So I feel like it will be approachable for pretty much everybody. All right, guys, I'll just hop on it. Oh, yeah. This is a very pleasant feeling, guys. This motorcycle is very comfortable. All right, let's start. Yeah, so we have 180-degree crankshaft. It doesn't sound too bad, but this is not the best sounding motorcycle in the class. All right, guys, first gear. Let's go. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is that this bike is very comfortable. This is probably one of the most comfortable motorcycles that you can come across. I sit very up straight. The seat is very soft. And as we can see, the seat is made of leather. So it's a very pleasant place to sit on. And overall, the ergonomics of this bike is pretty relaxing. And yeah, this is not a cruiser. So far, I would say that this might be one of the most comfortable motorcycles I've ever ridden from a Chinese manufacturer. Speaking about me, I'm 1 meter 85 centimeters. As I've just mentioned, the seat height of the bike is 790 millimeters. And so far, I feel very, very comfortable. And guys, I was riding this bike with my girlfriend, and as soon as she swung her leg across, she was like, wow, yeah, finally we ride something very, very comfortable for me as well. So if you're looking for a motorcycle which would be very pleasant not only for you but for your passenger, look no further, my dudes. This one is really comfortable. Let's go a little bit faster, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Well, it wasn't too bad, right? I'll tell you right away, my people, that the gears on this motorcycle, they're very short. The bottom end torque of this machine is pretty good, so you don't want to rev it up too much. You don't want to keep it in the red zone. It feels just fine in, like, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 RPM. Yeah. The gearbox itself is surprisingly good. And you know what? If you want to stop and find neutral, you'll do it no problem. I'll do it for you. Wait a second. So, okay, we stopped. First gear, right? Neutral. Check this out. First gear, neutral. First gear, neutral. Oh shit, once. Alright, but overall, guys, I'm telling you, it feels almost as good as my Z400, but I want to measure 0 to 100 kilometer per hour acceleration. Actually, this road is pretty bumpy, pretty bad, but given that we have pretty resilient and soft suspension, hope it will be a minor inconvenience rather than a big problem. Alright guys, official acceleration of this bike is 5.1 seconds. Let's see how fast can I go. Ready? So I'll just say it one more time. The official acceleration of this bike is 5.1 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, and the top speed must not exceed 160 kilometers per hour. So this bike would not have a very impressive top speed. Again, this is a motorcycle for a city, I would say. So for a city, it's like more than enough. But it doesn't feel slow. This is what I would tell you right away. Yeah, it just doesn't want to do wheelies. You can still do wheelies, especially if you sit here on the passenger's place. Oh, yeah, guys, I mean, you can do that, but this is not my motorcycle, and I just feel as if this bike doesn't want to do this. So yeah, I'll not even try. You can lift up the front wheel little in the second gear, but yeah, if you're not a pro in terms of wheelies, it will be very hard for you to do some decent wheelies on this machine. Now this bike just doesn't want to be ridden too fast. This is not high performance motorcycle, but I really like it. The first time I got my license here in China, I was checking those bikes. I was thinking about a motorcycle, and I went to one spot where I could actually test ride some motorcycles, and this was one of the first motorcycles I tried, and I was very surprised because this motorcycle felt so freaking comfortable, yet rather maneuverable, and this is exactly what I was looking for. As I ride this motorcycle now, after riding so many motorcycles, I would tell you that it still feels good. But my biggest problem, guys, is that, again, probably you can hear that as well. We have this pretty bad noise coming from the front part of the bike. This bike is 2 years old, and it has only 10,000 kilometers on the clock. And yet we have this pretty bad and nasty noise. Again, as you can see, we have some aftermarket parts like levers, mirrors. So mayhaps there is something from the front which actually doesn't belong to this bike in the first place. So maybe the original VOGE 500 AC, which you would get straight from the factory, let's say, wouldn't have any vibrations or noises. Again, this bike has a very pleasant amount of vibrations. I would not call this amount excessive. It's really pleasant. The only thing this bike has in terms of technology is this TFT dash, and we have 2 modes. So we don't have traction control. We don't have all those redundant things that most of those new bikes have. This bike is pretty simple, yet very, very fun to ride. And I think that this machine would be pretty reliable. So if I would be thinking of a bike which costs, let's say, 10 to 15,000 RMB on second-hand market, I would definitely check this one out. Again, if you're looking for a bike like this, please check the front. Just try to accelerate, like, I don't know, from 0 to 60, 70 kilometers per hour at least. Check the vibrations. Not the vibrations, but check the noise. I guess my second problem about this machine, other than noise, is that it's really difficult to operate. So we have only one enter button here, and in order to access menu, you have to press it for like few seconds. And it's very counterintuitive. After those CF motors or QG motors, which have a very nice dashboard, very nice buttons, it's easy to operate, this bike feels a little bit obsolete in terms of accessibility. But yeah, most of the time you just ride. You don't need to access menu or things like that. But still, this is what sets this bike apart from the newer motorcycles. So this is just something you have to keep in mind. Right, guys, listen, I feel like it is time for us to check brakes. What do you think? Ready? Like 50 kilometers per hour. Oh yeah, haha. Wasn't too bad actually. Yeah, speaking about the suspension, guys, this bike feels very soft. And the softer the suspension is, the more pleasant it is to ride. However, the trade-off is that the maneuverability and the sharpness of handling would be a little bit compromised. Every time I enter sharp curves, let's say, I do feel that this bike doesn't feel as sharp as some other motorcycles. Let's say NK800, which is a naked bike as well. So this suspension would be just perfect for a city, I'll tell you. This bike would never make you tired. You can ride for ages. But yeah, if you're looking for a performance machine, yeah, look further, my dudes. This would not be the best, the most effective and efficient motorcycle for this job. We have pretty good 6-speed gearbox. It's very nice. It's a little bit rough around the edges. We have pretty decent torquey engine, which sounds alright given that we have 180 crankshaft. We have really nice chassis, which is soft. A nice chassis for a city. Yeah, ergonomics is just awesome for long rides. Let's see how it performs in slow speed. Ready? Alright. I mean, yeah, it's kind of alright. It's kind of alright. It doesn't feel bad. But yeah, you hear the vibrations, right? Yeah, so 188 kilograms, this is the carb weight of the machine, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. It doesn't feel heavy. Again, right now we have NK800, which is twice more powerful than this machine, and the carb weight of that bike is just the same. So this bike is pretty average in terms of its maneuverability, but it's not bad. And Again, let me just stop for a second while we're in the shadow. Let's put neutral, no problem. Yeah guys, look at this machine. Looks pretty good. The front fork, look, it looks so good. I really like the color. It's like a golden front suspension, looks good. Dimension wise, this bike isn't too big, however it doesn't look small, so it looks fairly muscular, I would say. The headlight looks very good. Look at that. Yeah, we have an LED headlight. Yeah, it's really a very beautiful motorcycle. The muffler doesn't look bad. What do you think about the design, guys? I think that this motorcycle will be a very good beginner's motorcycle. I feel like it will be pretty manageable for everybody. Again, it doesn't feel heavy. It's pretty torquey, pretty fast, but it will never scare you off, I would say. Ergonomics is just perfect. We have really big, wide handlebars. Brakes are very good, but they don't have the super sharp initial bite to them, so I feel like you'll not do like something stupid. It'll be really hard to over squeeze the front brake and do like, I don't know, stop it or front flip. So yeah, again guys, I feel like it is time for me to say goodbye. Please let me know what you think about this bike in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and guys, some really cool new motorcycles are coming soon, so do not miss it up. And please stay safe, take care of yourself, because I'm sure that you want to see those motorcycles the same way as I do. So yeah guys, take care. I see you in my next videos. Bye everybody.
But we're making this too hard, and I want